Hey, playa, have you ever been in a situation where someone shows you just a little bit of attention and your mind immediately jumps to, wow, this is a person I want to go out with? Well, before you rush into a relationship with them, there are 6 things you need to know to make sure you're not getting into a relationship with a person you'll regret. For those of you that are new here, my name is Josh, and every single week I make videos sharing tips, ideas, and stories teaching you how to be your best self. So if you want to learn and grow, hit the subscribe button and make sure to click on the notification bell. I'm going to be real with you here. The reason why you want to jump into a relationship so bad is because you're desperate. Maybe you haven't dated someone for your entire life, or maybe you've just gone through a dry spell where there's really no one that you're interested in, or no one that you've talked to or asked out, or even no one that's liked you back. One of the major problems people really run into when they jump into a relationship out of desperation is that they find that they either quickly get bored of that person or that person quickly gets bored of them. If you're just using that person to fill a hole, to fill a gap in your own life, well then they're not being placed there because you really want them there or they're qualified to be there. They're just doing their job and filling that hole. Picking someone out of desperation because you're lonely, or just getting into a relationship with someone because all your other friends are in relationships and you don't want to be the odd person out, you're going to realize that's going to quickly fizzle out. You're going to get bored of that person because there's no qualifiers. There's no real reason for them being there other than to kind of fit that role so you don't feel alone. The second thing you might want to think about if you find yourself rushing into a relationship is that things will quickly get awkward because you don't really know anything about that person. I've spoken to so many of you guys who just decided to get a girlfriend or boyfriend just so they would have one, only to find out that there was nothing for the two of you to talk about, and conversations were just these awkward pauses. You're kind of putting the cart before the horse if you get into the relationship before you get to know the person. The whole purpose of jumping into the relationship is because you've taken the time to kind of really get to know that person better. Otherwise, it's just going to be a lot of awkward conversations where it's like, hey, how's it going, boyfriend? How you doing, girlfriend? But what do those words even mean at that point if the two of you can't even have a conversation? This tends to happen a lot more when you're younger, let's say in middle school or even in high school, but it can also happen when you're older. Maybe you have that first initial attraction to each other, you decide to just jump into a relationship, only to realize, wow, I don't really know anything about this person, I don't really feel comfortable asking them questions. There's really this tension that exists between us that we probably should have resolved first before deciding to be officially in a relationship. And that kind of leads to the third point, why you really just shouldn't rush into a relationship. They may not be the person that you think they are. As you talk to them, as you get to know them better, you might realize, wow, we have nothing in common. We see the world completely differently from each other. This really isn't the type of person I'd want to hang out with or just be with overall. But coming to that realization after you've already decided to be in a relationship with them, once again, just is a backwards way to go about it. You should really take time to learn more about that person. Look, I know you probably want to go out with them because you think they're attractive, you think they're cute, and you think they're hot or popular or whatever it may be, but there's more layers to a person than just the physical. And this is a super important point to remember, guys, because let's be honest, the first thing you notice about a person is that physical attraction. You see them and you want to be with them. It's just a natural instinct, but you have to tell yourself, you have to convince yourself to look beyond just that. Remember, people aren't just what you see on the outside. There's a lot more to them, and if that personality is something you just do not get along with, they drive you crazy, they bother you so much, then don't get into a relationship with them. On the flip side of that though, let's say right from the beginning the two of you hit it off. You're joking, you're laughing, you're understanding each other. You might think immediately, wow, I need to be in a relationship with this person. This person is my soulmate. But I'm going to crush your dreams here because chances are they're not. Look, over time, as you get to know this person better, you might realize that they are your person. But in the very beginning, having those deep instant connections really is just two sparks fitting together. It really takes time to really get to know someone better, to see how the two of you operate when you're alone, when you're around your friends, when you're around your family, when you run into obstacles. That's how you really kind of determine if this person is the right kind of person to be in your life. Because over time, you're going to run into tons of people that you form instant connections with. Connections in the moment which make you feel like, wow, this is a person I need in my life. So because I need them in my life, maybe I should be in a relationship with them. But sometimes those soulmates perform better as friends, as people you just casually know, or people you just casually see from time to time. Not everyone performs best in a relationship role. So you should really, no matter who they are, take the time to kind of see if they fit. And as you get to know this person better, make sure you don't fall victim to the fifth reason, which a lot of people do, and that's burnout. Right off the bat, things seem great. All you want to do is just talk to this person and text them and hang out with them and spend time in their world with them. But doing that so much right from the beginning, thinking that, hey, let's jump into a relationship and let's just spend every waking moment with each other is going to cause burnout. You're both going to eventually run out of things to talk about. You're going to get bored of just being in each other's spaces. You need to kind of stretch that out a bit. Let the tension build. Let the relationship fester so that you can actually see if this is a person that's good for the long term. And I get it. When you jump into a new relationship, you're excited. You're energetic. You want to spend every moment with that person because it's just all good times. But trust me on this, boredom will set in really quickly and you'll kind of feel that burnout because you're going to start to realize that, wow, we're doing everything together. We're not giving ourselves time to appreciate every moment that we spend. If you were to space out your time and really just take more time to get to know them, hang out with them every so often, kind of allow yourself time to focus on your friends and your schoolwork and your personal life, all that mixed in is going to make that relationship higher quality. But if you're just trying to get the biggest bang for your buck and spend as much time as you can with that person, burnout will happen real quick. And all of that just leads to the sixth reason why you shouldn't rush into a relationship. And that's simply because you might be putting too much pressure on your partner from the beginning. Think about it like this. You barely know this person, but you decide to just jump into a relationship with them, and then immediately they say something like, I love you. You're going to feel backed into a corner. You're going to feel like, whoa, that's a pretty strong thing to say to someone, and I barely even know you. Or imagine if you've only hung out with someone once or twice, and you've really only spent a little bit of time getting to know them. The two of you don't really know that much about each other, but you're willing to see where it goes, and then all of a sudden they start calling you their boyfriend or girlfriend. Having that label, having that person put a label on your thing might feel a bit overwhelming. Or let's just say you've gone on only one date with someone and immediately they start making your relationship public. They start telling everyone that the two of you are going out, that you're their boyfriend, and no one else should talk to you. That can be a lot of pressure to deal with. And those are just a few of the things people run into at the very beginning of the relationship, when things are still rocky and questionable and you don't really know where either of you stand. If that person is willing to just jump into the next stage with you and kind of start putting labels on things, saying I love you, declaring your love in front of everyone else, that can really make things awkward for you. So really take the time to get to know them before you jump into a relationship. Don't put your partner through that, and hopefully they won't put you through that either. Relationships really are an amazing thing to experience, but if you feel like you're jumping into it just so you can have someone, you may not be going about it with the best intentions. Now I know, a lot of you aren't even on the brink of being in a relationship. You have to find someone that likes you back first. I get it, but trust me on this. Go about it the right way. Go in with a clear mind. Find someone that you can deeply connect with and build a relationship with over time. I want to give a special shout out to my patrons and YouTube channel members, the people that help make these videos possible. I'll list them up over here. And if you want to kind of learn more about the beginning stages of a relationship, how to get into a relationship and really make it last, check out my video over here. I think the video is going to be super helpful for you, especially if you've never been in a relationship before and you want to know what to expect. Check it out, guys, and I'll catch you next time. As always, love and peace.